Hi, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Like, Share, Follow, episode 47. And I'm here with Kali Lovell, who is creative director and web developer at Luda Creative. Welcome, Kali.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining me today and being interviewee number 47. So, we were just saying before we went to air that you graduated in 2018. And you took some social media and I think maybe PR communication classes with me at USC. So tell me, what have you been doing from that time that you finished at USC to now?
So 2018 feels like yesterday and all the time. So I was lucky enough to continue working part-time at my internship that I got through uni for a little bit after my degree. And I moved to full-time at an agency on the coast, which was great. Then in the middle of last year when COVID hit and I started working from home, I kind of saw an opportunity where I could continue working from home but make my own money and be my own boss. So in the middle of a pandemic, I quit my full-time job and started Luda Creative. Nuts, but it was the best decision I've ever made. And it's actually my first birthday next week. So yeah, it's going great.
Oh, fantastic. And I mean, what a time to do it. I mean, I think we were discussing that as well. That was a great window to do that because I think that's when digital, like where businesses really understood the value of digital, whether it's websites or social media. And so, yeah, what a great time to actually take a launch and jump into that space. When people could actually, really needed you. So, yeah, well done. But it would have been scary to go from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the day I quit and I did my 2 weeks notice, I kind of had a moment of like, oh boy, what have I done? But it was, yeah, really good because I had work on the side. I'd always just done a bit of freelance work to get my name out there and do a few odds and ends and get a bit of pocket money and things like that. So that kind of really ramped because if you went online, you all of a sudden ASAP needed to be online. So
Yeah.
that really well.
Oh, excellent. And so, what has been some of the best career advice you've been given? And I'm sure you sought lots of advice before making that jump last year. So, what was the best advice you were given in relation to that?
It's actually something I've learned lots along the way. It was actually a saying that I heard not too long ago. It was sell the problem you solve, not the product you have. Kind of really stuck with me because at the start I was trying to sell packages like here's a website package or email marketing or something like that. But if you go to people and say, I can help you rank better in Google or media and solve their problem that they have, they're more likely to relate to you and then therefore work with you. So I think it was a lot of just giving a lot of information. So I recently started talking to a company in Melbourne, and I just suggested all the things, like we hadn't paid for any work or anything like that, but he was so grateful for the information I gave him that he wanted to continue working with me on a paid basis. So it's a lot of, giving away stuff for free, but we always get it back.
Totally. And I think that's the case. It's a great approach to, I think, with social media content is like providing value through your content. And I know some businesses feel like, well, if I give it away for free, people won't pay for it. But I think you can give general information and people will always come to you for that customized advice.
Yeah, definitely. Because he was just so grateful that I was giving all this information as well. And in a way, it kind of proved that I could do it as well. So I'm like, here's all my ideas. More for you, but here's all my ideas. You can do them yourself. But he was just like, well, to have it all covered, you can do it. Yeah, that's been great.
Yeah. And tell me too, so I mean, normally I ask, what do you think set you apart from other candidates? But you have your own business now. So looking and or if talking to say people considering starting their own business, or current students or emerging professionals considering either taking on clients while they're studying or going out on their own, what do you think? What sort of characteristics and skills and attitude, I guess, do you think you need to be able to do that well?
Just really be you. Just people want to work with people, especially if you're wanting to work with small businesses and stuff like that. They want to connect with you. They want a personal experience because otherwise they would go to the big agencies and things like that, but they want to work with, you know, small businesses and things like that. So if you can go meet them for coffee locally or organise a Zoom call, something really personable, people love that.
Excellent. And now thinking about your university journey, what did you find useful? What did you learn at university that you found really useful now that you're out working and also have your own business?
I think it actually came from my communication classes. It was really just reflecting on your wording and things like that and how people might perceive that. So obviously everyone feels differently, everyone interprets them differently. So especially with something like a social media campaign or email marketing, you have to read it from like lots of different views because you don't want to get confused or crossed or anything like that. So yeah, just always reading it in a minute, coming back and reading it again. How could someone in this situation read this content and stuff like that?
Yeah. So, you know, considering your audience in all the different perspectives.
Yeah.
And what has been a skill that you wish you learned at university that you didn't, that you've been out going, oh, and you've had to upskill since you left?
Probably like a few accounting classes might not have gone astray with starting a business. But to be fair, when I was at uni, owning my own business wasn't my priority and it wasn't something I even wanted to do. So I didn't look into it. But I wish now it was like, even if you're not thinking about starting a business, a few accounting classes could have really helped sell me a little bit further, a little bit quicker. Starting my own business, the money side of things and the accounting side was super overwhelming just because I had no idea. But even if you're kind of freelance and stuff like that, it helps to know like how tax works with business ownership and all that type of stuff. So that would have really helped.
Yeah, and you know, you're not the first guest on this show to say that. So, and I think there are courses at USC you can do that about small business and things like that. But I don't think we communicate them well enough that you could take them as an elective. So I think that's an area. And you know now at USC that the business school is now with the creative industry school. So we're one school now. So we can talk to each other even better about sort of those things together. I was even considering at the end of each semester I would run a sort of CV workshop, interview skill workshop. So I'm even considering doing one about how to set yourself up as a sole trader. So for students looking to take on social media clients, or even, you know, students want to build websites and things like that who have those skills. So do you think something like that would be helpful?
Yeah, definitely. If, you know, you're an agency and you don't want to do your own thing, I think it's still super beneficial just to have that understanding because, like me, I didn't want to do that, but now I am, and I've had to learn skills. So it's just one of those things that why not learn?
Yeah, and I guess even just showing where to go for information, I think is
because you start Googling and it gets really overwhelming about what you need to do and how to set up a business or how to set up a sole tradership. It gets very confusing. Yeah,
and you've got to be careful too because the rules are different in every state, and you know, so so you've got to make sure you're getting the right information. So look, I'm going to look into that. So. So now tell me what social media related thing, because I always ask this because social media moves so quickly, it changes all the time, and you're clearly still very well involved in it. So what has been something you've picked up or learned in the last couple of weeks that you find interesting that you could share with us? So it could be a new tool, a new platform, a platform change, even just a piece of information that's been really helpful.
So Instagram's changing all the time. Like every time I open the app, I think it's different. But I think just the power of Reels as well on Instagram. So they're relatively easy to make, but they're fun. But the amount of engagement that I've seen getting is just out of this world. So definitely Reels. As hard as it's out there as well, it's super beneficial. But I think just with social media in general, I'm blown away daily. Social media, so just connecting with small businesses and things like that, or just local businesses, because local wants to support local. The more you follow local businesses, you'll just grow so organically. I think that's been a huge learning as well.
Yeah, that's great advice. And yeah, reels, I think reels are really, without, I shouldn't have said really, but trying to compete with TikTok. Like I think that's why it was created. And so now Instagram's really rewarding creators who are using reels because they want them to use it even more. So
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. And another thing I want to ask you is, what advice would you give to emerging professionals, current students, about how to succeed in their career?
Be you. People want to work with you for a reason. They have a set of skills. You need to like hone in on that and execute that really well. But just never stop learning and just doing what you do. Yeah. I think if you've got a feeling that you need to do like a business adventure you need to do, just do it. Just take the jump.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I've always said that too. It's like, don't say you can't do anything unless it's like brain surgery or something, something like that. If it's some sort of task that you haven't completed before, and it's something you think you could just learn while you're doing it, do it. It also always increases your skills. So.
Take the time to create your own branding, how you want to run things. So that was one thing I wish I maybe had done at the start a bit more clearly, was really hone in on my own branding, like that. So I think I just jumped in and kind of had all these options and didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I was refining it as I went. Where maybe if I'd spent at the start really refining how I wanted to look and things like that, that it might have saved time. So yeah, just spend a lot of time on that.
Yeah, but I think sometimes branding is an evolution as well. So what you start out as a business, I think sometimes it changes over time as you learn more about your customers and find your sort of niche area, and often your branding changes along with that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, but it's good to have an idea of who you are before you start, so then you can actually communicate that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what my final question? Well, it's actually the second last one, but the most important question is: who do you like, share, and follow?
So I love connecting with people's skill sets that I don't have, because I find that inspirational to follow and stuff like that. So there's a do Google advertising and Facebook marketing, and they're always putting out tips and tricks and things like that to follow. So they're called Top Tier Marketing. So I just find that very inspirational because that's something the skills I'm lacking in. But I also connect with a graphic designer called Talia Design, who I work with pretty much every day on different projects. And then, there's a web designer I work with, Beck from Burn and Bloom. That'd be my 3 favourite accounts at the moment. Yeah.
And so when this is you visit this episode on Facebook and LinkedIn, could you tag them in the comments so then other people can follow them as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's just I love connecting with people that have skills that I don't have. Then it comes up with collaboration and things like that. And they're always putting tips out that I didn't know, and I put things I didn't know. Always learning.
Yeah, I think that's smart. Like, I think that's really smart and really strategic as well, as you said, so you can build partnerships with them and learn from them. So, because you never stop learning new things, particularly in this industry, because it changes all the time.
Every time you wake up, it's different and something's new.
I'm still changing my lectures like the last minute before we go. I deliver them because something's changed, but at least it keeps me fresh and on my toes. So do you have any final pieces of advice or final words you'd like to share before we go?
Not really. Just if you've got a business idea, start small, get clients working freelance, and then evolve as you go. And it's the best decision you'll ever make is following something you're passionate about. So I highly recommend it.
Excellent. And we've had a couple of comments. So they're from Anthony Roberto, who first said, "Greetings, Karen and Kali from Melbourne." And then he said, "Continued success, Kali, in your career development. Your positive and can-do attitude, skills and knowledge are so inspirational."
Oh, thank you.
Thanks. Well, all right. Well, thank you very much, Carly, for sharing your pearls of wisdom, and I'm sure you'll inspire a lot of emerging professionals to go out on their own and have a go. So
Yeah.
it can be really great working for yourself, and we're talking about how great it is to work from home as well. So if you're that way inclined, this may be a great career path for you. So thank you so much, Carly. And next week on episode 48, I'm speaking to Ellie Meyer, who's the operations administrator for USC Thunder Netball. So everyone's gone in all different career paths. It's really interesting. So thanks everyone, and I will see you next week. Thanks, Carly.